Hello. This video I'll be doing a demonstration on trimming a pot, and this pot is the one I made in my previous video, which is a pasta bowl. And what I'm doing is rolling pieces of clay to anchor my pot down. And when rolling pieces of clay for this purpose, just be sure to use a consistency that's not too soft or too hard, just so that way you're able to keep your pot firmly in position while trimming. All right, now I got my pot anchored down. I'll go ahead and begin my trimming. The tool that I'm using here is what's called a ribbon tool, and it has a metal loop on the end with an edge to it. And when starting out with trimming, I like to create the foot on my pot. And how I do that is I'll trim out some of the excess clay on the bottom side of my pot and make my way towards the center. Just that way you're making a transition between the foot and the remaining part of your pot. All right, what I'm going to do next is create the bottom of my foot. And what I recommend doing is beginning the cut about half an inch to an inch from the edge of the foot, and then making your way towards the center as you're trimming. And what you're doing here is you're trimming out some of the excess clay at the bottom of your pot to make it lighter. And what's an important practice when trimming is just being sure that you are applying the same amount of pressure throughout as you're trimming. That way, you're creating an even space, an even surface throughout the bottom of your pot. And when you are applying pressure, just be sure that you are careful with the amount of pressure that you are applying, especially if your pot is a little bit on the wetter side of leather hard, just because you do run the risk of caving the bottom of your pot in, or making it collapse. All right, next I'm going to go over the bottom of my pot again with this ribbon tool. As you can notice, it does have a larger loop on it, and I'm able to cover more surface area. And it just helps me to ensure that my pot has a smooth and even surface throughout. All right, and lastly, I'm going to go ahead and use a damp sponge to clear off any shavings or clay dust that was left behind while trimming, just so that way the bottom of my pot will be tidied up and clean.